Well, when you talk about getting robbed for 600,000, so basically you invested in a fake construction company in Africa?
Yeah, but then after that, I got robbed for $1 million cash.
Okay, so things were just going bad for you one after another.
Yeah, it was going bad.
Right, well, because by 2010, the recession had kind of cooled off and things are getting back to normal. Law enforcement's not cracking down. So you end up kind of coming back and going into the whole car theft thing again.
Yep, I went back to work. They called me and I went right back to work.
Right, and then you made $1 million, and then, like you said, your house gets robbed.
Yep, I made $1 million in 2010. They robbed it. It had to be, I think, the end of 2010, maybe 2010, the beginning of 2011. Yep.
Okay, so who robbed you?
I don't even know. They showed me some pictures. I knew everybody on the pictures, but I was like, man, it's the game. As long as I ain't get killed, it was the game.
So were you home when the robbery happened or no?
The crazy thing is, I was getting dressed and I was going to this Soul Food Wednesday. They had soul food every Wednesday. So I'm in the car. They had to been sitting there watching me, waiting for me to leave. I'm in the car, I'm taking pictures because I had a watch on and all that shit. But I know that they was sitting there watching me because I had cameras outside my house. But they was dummy cameras though. They was just monitors and shit. But they didn't care. They came through the other side. They used a fireman axe to get in, and they took the safe. I had a safe like that big.
How'd you feel when you got home and $1 million in cash is missing, and it's all dirty money, so it's not insured? You can't call the police, really. I mean, you can, but they won't do anything ultimately about it.
I called the cops.
Say, hey, listen, these guys stole my stolen money. Like,
I called the cops and said I got robbed. Cause when I don't know, man, you just,
Why would you do that?
I don't know.
You know where that money came from. Why would you do that?
But I told the cops when they got there, I said I'm a rapper, and they took $1 million out of my house. So they takes me and my girlfriend down, they fingerprint us, and I think that's another way that I got hot, that they got on me, because I tried to change it. I'm like, no, it was 50,000, but they already knew what was going on.
Okay, so you get robbed for $1 million. You're crazy enough to call the police about it. Now,
and where I was living at, they came so fast. They came like fast as hell. And by the time they came, I realized that I'm not no civilian. I'm in the game. What the fuck am I doing? So I'm all fumbling when they get there, and I'm like, all right, forget it.
Okay, well, at one point you're trying to get out of the whole car theft game, but you got threatened by one of the people?
Yeah, that was after the robbery. I didn't want to do it no more. And he kept calling me and calling me and calling me. So he they wanted some Range Rovers, and he was saying that somebody overseas, it had to be like Sierra Leone or something, they kidnapped his sister. I don't know if it was a gimmick or anything, because he know that I ride for my people. So he was saying that they kidnapped his sister over there, and he needed 3 Range Rovers to get her back. So I got him the Range Rovers. But before he said that, he was like, if you don't come back in the game, we gonna kill you. And I'm like, I just banged the phone. And then that's when he called me talking about his sister. So I got him the 3 Range Rovers. But then after that, he bought me a Range Rover, so.
Okay, so then a situation happened where you had a Jaguar that you want to trade for an X5 BMW.
No. So I had a Jaguar, and the guy that I was saying took the 600,000 from me. He had a BMW, and we traded. We switched off. But the whole time I knew that he was working for the feds, but he wouldn't give me up though. But I knew that he was, and I still was selling them cars while he was working for them though. That's the crazy thing. But when I gave him my car, I don't know if they put a bug in it. I don't know what they did, but I let him hold my car, and then I kept calling him to get it back, but he wouldn't answer the phone, and it took him a long time. And then the next day I got pulled over, and they just took the car. They didn't say what they took it for or nothing.
Okay, so you switched cars, so now you're rolling around in a car that's allegedly bugged by the feds.
I don't know what he did. I don't know what they did, but I knew that he was working for him.
But then 2 days later, law enforcement shows up.
Yeah, they show up. They knock on my door. I got my son in my hand. And they say, you know what we here for? I said, yeah, y'all just took my car. What, y'all coming to give it back? He said, no, it's deeper than that. He said, you want to come down and talk to us? I was like, nah. And he was like, we're not going to take you because you got your son. And they gave me a card. So I called my lawyer. And then I went down to my lawyer office and I gave him the card and he called him. But when I went down there, I already knew what was going on. I already knew it was almost over. So I asked him, I said, hey, can you hide $1 million for me? But obviously he said no. But when I got down there and I was telling him all the story, he was calling all his colleagues in to hear the story and shit. It was pretty wild.
Okay, so you got robbed for $1 million, but you had another $1 million on deck?
Yeah, cause somebody sent me 100,000 after I got robbed and I didn't want to do it no more. Somebody sent me 100,000 from London. Yeah.